We have been looking at this short description of liberalism from it's a quotation from John Gray's book, one of his books, and we looked at individualism last time, and we looked at egalitarianism as well, and before that we looked at how freedom is the defining characteristics of liberalism, and what individualism and egalitarianism does is to differentiate liberalism from other modernist ideologies which also believe in freedom. But freedom is the defining characteristics of liberalism. So today we are going to look at the remaining two, hopefully, or at least one anyway: universalism and meliorism, or what can be alternatively called progressivism. Progress. So belief in progress. And again, belief in progress is common to all modernist ideology. But universalism is again something which differentiates liberalism from other modernist ideologies. Some of them anyway. So it differentiates it from nationalism, for example. But it shares universalism, I believe in universalism, with other non-liberal modernist ideologies like Marxism, for example, or socialism, for example, at least certain types of socialisms. Okay, so, but before we move to universalism, I want to say a few more words, a few more things about egalitarianism. Okay. So last time we said that liberalism, one of the key belief of liberalism is equality of all individuals. Irrespective of their social background, irrespective of their beliefs, irrespective of all the contingent things, because what the essence of individual is freedom of their will. And that's what defines the moral worth of an individual. So his or her actions or background doesn't define her worth in theory anymore. So in that sense, liberalism believes in individual equality of all individuals across races, across different geographies. But that's in theory. In practice, not even before in practice, we saw this last time, and that is still at the level of theory. Even though individual are equal, but that equality is potential, even in theory. Potential in the sense that we can divide an individual into three possibilities. So this individual recognizes the fact that freedom is the only thing which defines his or her moral worth. So this is actually true individual liberal who is conscious of this fact And in that sense, it is this individual which is fully individual or liberal individual. And in that sense, he or she is superior to all other individuals who are not conscious of this fact. Secondly, there are individuals who are not conscious of this fact, but are potential recruit for liberalism, so to speak, because they can be made conscious of the fact that what constitutes their moral worth is freedom and nothing else. So here education, liberal education, becomes important. And most of the population is made or transformed into liberal individuals at various levels because of the education system and because of the specific education system, schooling, college, university, but also broader education system in terms of television and press and publishing houses and different media. So this is second one. So this is number one. So there is a hierarchy, even in theory, really. And this is second. And the third are the individuals who are actually rejects this claim that freedom is what defines their moral worth. They believe in something else. It can be anything. They believe in, love defines their moral worth, or their being part of nature defines their moral worth, or their being part of the, creature of God defines their moral worth, and all that. So for liberals, these are number three. So they are sort of, and we can even number four are those who not only rejects freedom but actually actively oppose liberalism, try to overthrow liberal order. So these are the worst. So these are probably not even human. These are the people who should be treated as diseases, as Rawls says. And number three ones, they are obviously lesser humans as well, but probably they don't need to be treated as diseases as long as their rejection is only passive. So this is what we did last time, and I wanted to add to this today. So only, in a sense, only the first of these are truly equal liberal individuals. So even in theory, liberal society despite its egalitarianism, liberal society is a society like any other society based on hierarchies, based on a system of gradation. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the ones who are really equal to each other, and they are better than others because they are conscious of their moral worth and they recognize their freedom. And obviously, these are the leaders of this society, a liberal society. So this is in theory. But in practice, if we go into practice, even hierarchy and gradation is introduced into number one. And I'll try to explain this now. So even in theory, despite its egalitarianism, those people who actually believe in liberalism, those individuals have more power in a liberal society, and they are leaders in a liberal society at different levels according to their capabilities in this respect, I guess. But when we move to actual liberal societies, hierarchies are introduced even among the believers, so to speak. And the basis for that hierarchy in practice hierarchies are introduced due to the fact that freedom is a concept or an ideal which requires resources. Once you have built a liberal society based on the idea of freedom, this freedom is an empty idea unless people have resources. So in practice, what a liberal society requires is accumulation of resources. So the practical manifestation of freedom is capital, in a sense, because capital is this accumulation of resources. And a liberal society necessarily becomes a capitalist society, because if you offer freedom and if freedom requires resources, the best way to accumulate resources is capitalism, because every individual would actualize their freedom according to their will only to extend that the scarcity is overcome and abundance is created. And that's the promise of capitalism. That's why, in actual fact, all liberal societies are capitalist societies. And belief in freedom, in actuality, is belief in capital accumulation and dedicating resources of the society to capital accumulation. And if the purpose of society is capital accumulation, a hierarchy is created on two bases. Those who know how to accumulate best have higher worth and leadership role in such a society. And secondly, those who actually have resources and actually actualize their freedom more than others actually have morally and socially higher position in such a society. So that's why, even though liberalism in theory and practice is formally egalitarian, at least at the first level, at the level of the believers in liberalism, in actual fact, a liberal society is a highly stratified, highly hierarchized, highly unequal society. And the basis of inequality is the capability to accumulate resources and actual possession of resources. So those people who have more capability to accumulate resources have a higher moral worth and higher social value, and they are the natural leaders. And second, those who actually possess more resources, more money, have a leadership role and higher power and worth in a liberal society. So we can say that a liberal society, like any other society, is a highly hierarchical society. But it is different from other societies in that its principle of ordering individuals, or principle of hierarchy, is freedom itself, and its concrete form of freedom, which is capital. So in other words, a liberal society structures actual inequalities on the basis of formal equality. So formally everybody is equal, one vote before the law, etc. But those who have more money and more capability and resources, in actual facts, they are the one who are able to win election. They are able to hire lawyers, etc., and win cases in general. And more the society is liberal, it is actually more unequal society. It has more inequality. So for example, you see America, there's more inequality because it's more liberal than, for example, Northwestern European countries, where you have social, they are liberal too, but their liberal democracy is sort of limited by social democracy and welfare liberalism or welfare socialism, etc. So that's sums up discussion of liberalism and egalitarianism. Next we'll move to universalism, but probably we will end this session here and we'll start the next session with universalism.